Howdy, partners. And this is going to be my review for the 2019 Child's Play movie. Now, I watched this movie Saturday night. I've had 2 days to kind of process and compare it to the original movie. So, without further ado, here we go. My first initial thoughts on this movie were that it was pretty good. I liked it. It appeared that everyone else in the theater liked it. I can see it being a good um, reboot or a start to a reboot of the entire Child's Play franchise, which they end the movie on not like a cliffhanger, but it's open to a sequel. They leave it open to a sequel. Like you as the viewer know, there's not the end. So yeah, uh, let's see here. I got my script out. Uh, the only thing that kind of bugged me about this movie was that it was not as bloody as its original uh, counterparts. I'll be honest, I haven't seen the original Child's Play in so long, so I can't really remember exactly. I want to say it was the original Child's Play where like Chucky hid in a closet at a school and he like beat a teacher to death with a ruler. I think that was the original Child's Play. I want to say so, but you know the older movies. I remember in Child's Play 3, there was a scene where Chucky had like half his face chopped off by a giant uh, scythe and shit. How if you've seen the older movies, you know they have a level of blood and guts that, in my opinion, this movie attempted at, but also toned down. There were some parts that surprised me, but then there were other parts where I was kind of like, why didn't they go all out with that, you know? So, yeah, the movie's plot is similar to the original ones, but not a lot. It's not a cut and dry copy. One of the biggest changes is that Chucky is now a robotic doll whose programming is tampered with while he's getting uh, built. You know, the manufacturer building him in Vietnam, he gets talked down to by his boss, and so in like this fit of rage, he goes into Chucky's programming and disables all of his safety protocols. That's already fucked up right there. And then as soon as like he checks Chucky off to be sent off to the stores, he jumps off a building and kills himself. So that should have been a red flag right there to like everyone he was working with. Like, oh, he might have done something, guys. But no. Chucky makes it to America. He makes it to the store shelves. He gets bought. Some some smart motherfucker realizes that Chucky is broken because his eyes are flashing red and returns him. But yeah, that was the only smart person in the movie. Andy's mom, who also works at the store, sees that Chucky is broken, but not completely like worthless, I guess. And so she ends up taking him home with her to be a present for Andy. It's like an early birthday present. And so, yeah, at first Andy wasn't down with it. Like he thought Chucky was a kid's toy. But then when he realizes Chucky can do things other buddy dolls cannot, uh, he's all down for it. And he actually makes friends through this malfunction with Chucky. He they actually see Chucky as like a cool little robot, and they even joke about how this is how all robot apocalypse movies start, with the robot being malfunctioning and the people not seen it as a threat. Which that was like a cool little foreshadowing joke, I guess. But yeah, they have Chucky scare people for them. They have Chucky steal for them. And at the end of the day, everyone loves Chucky and he thinks he's doing good. Chucky thinks that all this stuff he's doing is making Andy happy. And one fateful night, Chucky sees the kids watching a horror movie and he sees how much they love it. So, what does he do? He wants to make them happy. So he goes and gets a kitchen knife and tries to recreate a scene from the movie. He comes at the kids with this kitchen knife and damn near cuts them all up. But Andy thankfully stops him and takes the knife away from Chucky. But at the same time, Chucky cuts him across the arm. And then that's like, that should have been flag 1. But no, there's there's at least 2 red flags that Andy just fucking misses. With the second one being the death of the family cat. The whole reason is that Andy didn't really like the cat to begin with, and so he told Chucky he doesn't like the cat, and Chucky was like, okay. And Chucky goes off and he kills the fucking cat and leaves it in front of Andy and says, can we play now? And so, Andy, trying to keep this a secret, he takes the cat's body and throws him away. And he doesn't tell anyone. So, red flag number 2 doesn't fucking get anywhere. Like, that's just been overlooked. Red flag, well, that's not even a red flag. It's just a straight up death next. Andy's mom has a boyfriend who is a real dick. Like, he's a dick. I was not sad that this motherfucker died. I actually like the way he died because Chucky follows the guy home to his wife and family. That's right, to his wife and family, and basically kills him there through knocking him off a ladder, and he breaks both of his shins. And as he's like crawling on the ground, Chucky activates, I want to say it's like a mini plow thing. I'm not sure. It's like a gardening tool that has blades that kind of spin around like this. And like as it's coming after him, the guy's trying to crawl away, but because both his legs are fucked up, he can't. And this plow is getting closer and closer and closer. And finally, he ends up stopping it with his arm. But then Chucky jumps on his chest and shit. What did he say? He said some shit like, now me and Andy can play forever without you. And he has his fucking kitchen knife and he's about to stab the guy. But as he's about to stab the guy lets go of the plow and pushes Chucky off of him, thus allowing the plow to eat into his fucking brain. And so, yeah, end of his story. So, yeah. Then what happens next, which is even more bloody, this is really the only major bloody moment, is that Chucky cuts off the guy's face, puts it on a watermelon, and gives it to Andy as a fucking present. And this is where Andy draws the fucking line. He shows the other kids, and they're like, yeah, no, we gotta fucking do something with Chucky. And yeah, they set up this little trap for Chucky. They end up jumping him and ripping out his like little core thing, and it turns him off. And so you think it's over, but no, they end up dumping Chucky in a trash can. And the maintenance man for the apartment they're at, he finds Chucky, and this guy's a fucking creep. Like, he is a creepo. He takes Chucky back to his basement and basically repairs him. And this fucking asshat is in his underwear in the sweaty ass basement, repairing this child doll. He basically gives Chucky the power to connect to other devices like him. So, yeah, that's why I said he's an evil Alexa. He can now connect to the thermostat. He can connect to the cameras. He can connect to like these little Roomba robot things. And yeah, it's I like to say they gave Chucky the Force, which is funny because Mark Hamill, aka Luke Skywalker, voices Chucky, and so that's what I thought that was kind of that was kind of cool about that. Which this leads up to the next bloody death in the movie. The maintenance guy, Chucky ends up killing him by first he slashes them all up, and then the maintenance guy stupidly climbs on top of a table that has a saw in it. He climbs on top of a table saw. And when Chucky pushes the table saw over, the maintenance guy jumps up and grabs onto a pole. Well, this pole was like I guess maybe like a water heater line or something like that. Because when Chucky turns up the temperature, the heat starts burning the guy's hands to the point he lets go. And he falls ass first on this circular saw. And it splits him from ass crack to brain crack. And yeah, that was like the second bloody part of the movie. Which from there, it only goes downhill because now Chucky is after Andy. He sees that Andy has betrayed him. And so he's like, if I can't be your friend, no one can. And he goes off on this killing spree, and it starts to look like Andy's crazy because Andy knows it's Chucky. Chucky has shown himself to Andy in like convenience stores in the apartment complex, and everyone thinks Andy's crazy, but it's not. And when the climax of the movie happens, they're actually in this Z Mart, which is like an off-brand Walmart that sells the Chucky dolls, and it's like they basically gave Chucky an army because there's a shitload of other dolls just like him, and there's a shitload of other toys just like him, and he connects to them all and locks the entire building down. And there's like 20, 30 people in this store that he just goes to town on, with Andy being his like own personal target. Everyone else in the store is more or less in the way, you know. So yeah, it's fucking crazy. The ending is fucking crazy. Uh, let's see. The movie ends with them destroying Chucky, like ripping his body apart and destroying his core. But because he got connected to the internet and the cloud, he ends up taking another body of a recalled toy. Like after all this shit happens at the Z Mart, the makers of the buddies recall them all back and put them in a warehouse. Well, they just gave Chucky a shitload of new bodies, and they gave him another motherfucking army. So yeah, that's how they kind of left the movie up for a sequel. So yeah, guys, that was Child's Play 2019. I was kind of burning through shit because I didn't know how long my phone was going to record. It's at the 13-minute mark right now, which is kind of amazing, but then at the same time, I'm kind of scared because it can cut out any minute. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right here. What I have planned next is that I'm going to review this girl right here. She's the Mothra, or the NECA version of Mothra. So yeah, I'm going to have that probably up later in the week. So yeah, guys, if you like this video, leave a like and a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more random shit that I decide to do. Have a good night, or good morning, I guess. And yeah, stay tuned, guys. See you later.